What's going on, guys? Tukes here from Tukes Productions, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get out of auto white balance and set your white balance manually in just 5 minutes. So welcome to the brand new studio. I hope you guys like it. If you guys are new here, I was previously filming out of my room. So now we are in a brand new studio with awesome lighting, professional audio, a whole switcher board, a bunch of stuff in here to be able to record high quality content. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos from here on out, and let's get to learning some stuff. So if you just picked up a camera or had a camera before and you went to go film something and you noticed that the footage was too blue or too orange, or your skin was too blue or orange, chances are you're probably filming in auto white balance or in the wrong preset. The reason why you want to set your white balance manually from the start is so that your camera knows that white is white and all your other colors are going to be what they are. And more importantly, your skin tone, you want to be accurate. One of the main reasons outside of color to set your white balance properly is for editing purposes. If you're editing a clip that was auto white balance, chances are you're going to be constantly fixing the colors on most of those clips. If you set your white balance, let's say outside for daylight and you're shooting in daylight, then all those daylight clips are going to be consistent. Now, most if not all cameras come with white balance presets, and honestly, I would recommend using those over the auto white balance because once you set your camera to one of those presets, the colors don't change. So if you're shooting in daylight and you set the preset to daylight, then the colors are going to stay for daylight. Now, I don't want to get too technical and start discussing Kelvin temperatures and numbers because there's tons of other videos that discuss and explain all that stuff very thoroughly. I just wanted to get you guys comfortable and get you guys to understand that it's not as hard as you think. Now check this out. All right, so the way that I look at things and the way it works for me in my brain is that if this number increases, that means that my camera is adding a warmer look to the scene. And if the number decreases, that means that I'm adding a cooler look to the scene. So basically, white balance is all about compensation. So for example, I'm in the studio, my lights are set to 5600 Kelvin. So in essence, I'm gonna set my light to 5600 Kelvin. Whatever your light source is, you wanna make sure that you're balancing or compensating for that light that is in the area of whatever light you're using, or if it's outside or whatever it is. That is the whole purpose of white balancing. Now here's the hardest part about white balancing that I'm gonna show you guys how to get around if you don't have a white balance card or a gray card. The reason why you should use a white or gray card is because you're able to see any color changes or any color shifts with white or gray pretty easily as opposed to any other color. So whenever I get to a location, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for something that's white or gray. Half the time it's mostly something white, and majority of the time it's something white. Now when you're shooting a car, just keep in mind that not all cars are exactly pure white. So once I know what my ambient light source is and what I'm gonna be using as a reference for my white balance, I kinda get in the ballpark area of what the white balance could be. So if I'm outside and I'm in daylight, then I'm going to set my white balance to 5600 and start from there on my reference. So all I'm doing is simply pointing my camera at whatever I'm using as a reference and adjusting my white balance based off of that. So try to get in that ballpark area, and if you happen to be slightly off, trust me, it's much less work to have to fix something that's slightly off in post than something that is completely off in post if you're using auto white balance settings. You can also use a set custom white balance, which is basically a feature where you can just put something white to the camera and it'll white balance the scene for you. But then again, you're not really learning how to manually set your white balance. It's always good to learn how to do something manual just in case something goes wrong. And that's basically it. All you have to do is know what your light source is that you're using for the scene and have something white to use as a reference or something gray. Now keep in mind, this is not the perfect way to set your white balance. Like I said, white balance card or gray card. It's also important to know that you as a creative can make decisions or artistic decisions on how you choose to set your white balance. Let's say if you're going for a warmer look, or let's say if it's sunset and you're going for a warm look, then it makes sense by all means to increase your white balance. It's ultimately up to you as the creative. Now, if you're going for a clean look and you don't have much time to edit and post, then I would recommend setting your white balance to whatever your ambient light source is or whatever your key light source is, just so you don't have to do too much work in post with color grading. So I hope I was able to give you guys a better understanding of how to set your white balance manually and not shoot in auto white balance. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I actually answer most, if not all, questions in the comment section. I actually take pride in that. Or you can reach me on Instagram at Tukes Productions. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.